Welcome back everyone. Today I'm diving into episode 2 of the Real Housewives of London. Now with that explosive first party at Amanda's, I was curious, would things calm down or would the drama only turn up? Spoiler alert, London isn't slowing down. So episode 1 left us with Panthea and Juliet M already clashing. So episode 2 picks up with tension still simmering and the group is trying to move forward. But of course this is Housewives, so every shopping trip, every brunch, every party, of course it's going to be loaded with shade. Episode 2, we see a glimpse of the Housewives family. So I'm going to start off with Panthea. So we saw Panthea with her husband Ed. Panthea, we saw her she has 4 children, but initially we saw her 3 children. So we saw Cameron, who's aged 11, Sienna, who's aged 9, and Coco, the baby, who's aged 8. Cameron's at boarding school. In fact, he went to the same boarding school as William and Harry. And Panthea also has another son from her first marriage. So his name is Amir. He's 29 years old and he lives in America. Panthea sees him twice a year. We got to see Panthea's mother. Her name is Charlotte June. Panthea calls her Charlotte June, and so do the children. And the reason for this is Panthea states that since the age of 9, she's been calling her mother Charlotte June because mother didn't want people to think she was old enough to have a daughter. Like, really, Charlotte June? Is that what we're doing? So her name is Charlotte and June means darling. Maybe back in the day it was a bit taboo, to... No, it wasn't even taboo because Panthea said that her mum wanted her to call her Charlotte June because she didn't want people to think she was old enough to have a daughter. So it's not because she was too young to have a child. Wow. Moving along. Panthea did say that Charlotte June is not very maternal. And you can see that. She comes across to me as too self-absorbed and quite selfish, actually. There was a part in the episode where Panthea says that the young granddaughter has been chosen to participate in the national cross-country run. And rather than praise the granddaughter, like saying, oh, wonderful, that's amazing, I'm so proud, instead, Charlotte June, she says, quotes, so what? Well, and then proceeds to talk about herself. And I'm thinking, really? That seemed a bit selfish. And in my humble opinion, I think if you're selfish, being selfish and having a child doesn't really mix well, because you'll find that you will not put the needs of that child first. That's my humble opinion. But the mere fact that Panthea is calling her mum, they're on first name terms, I find that really odd. Although people do it, but for me it's nah, don't like that.
She got the national. The whole of England sees who's the best.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I was champion in tennis. Yes, I was champion.
Your 9-year-old granddaughter is running.
We see Amanda. Amanda has a daughter called Sophia from her first marriage, and that's Sophia spelt with an F. And then she has a stepdaughter also called Sophia, and a stepson called Lucas from her second marriage. Amanda says that her daughter thinks that she's the funniest person she's ever met. She gets on very well with her stepkids, and What I like about Amanda is her little quotes. In that scene where we see Amanda talking to her stepdaughter, Sophia, at the end of that scene, Amanda, with her little quotes, she says, talking about surviving, her divorce, she says, I was like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Bless. In another scene, we see Karen with her 2 daughters in the nail shop getting their nails done. So Karen has 2 lovely daughters. She has Giovanna, the eldest, who's 21, and Jolan, who's 13. Karen describes her relationship with her daughters, quote unquote, we're like sisters. So her parenting style, she says, is different from the way she was raised. She was raised strict, but she's a bit more free with her daughters. This scene, Karen is expressing her love and passion for wanting to become a fashion designer. So she's asking her girls to help her to source a photographer, because she's saying that the samples for her designs have been approved and she just needs to do the social media bit to get her brand up and running. So we get a glimpse of Nessie and her family. So we see her husband. I believe she has 3 children. They seem like young children, so we didn't see that much of them, and it could be because they are, younger children. We might see more of them as the episodes progress. Same with Juliet Mayhew. We didn't really see much of her children, but we know she has a daughter called Ophelia, who's about to go to university in September, and she has a son who's already at boarding school. We see Juliet chatting with Caroline Stanbury about the children fleeing the nest, etc. Juliet reveals that she went to a music, ballet and drama school, and it's the same music, ballet and drama school that Lady Diana went to, and also actress Jane Seymour. Interesting. So that gives it away. That explains the flamboyancy and the like to dress up in like costume, and she's very theatrical, Juliet Mayhew is. So one of the highlights of episode 2, as mentioned before, is Nessie with a book launch at the London Book Fair. So in the scene, we see Nessie going to meet a publisher at the London Book Fair. She's curated a children's cookbook, and it's called Cooking with Kids, where Nessie's own children have played an integral part of bringing the book together. So she's at the London Book Fair and she's holding the sample book in her hands for the first time. And she's really quite emotional about it. She's been working on the book for 2 years. So it's, it's finally coming into fruition. So it's a dinosaur cookbook, and with that being said, you see Juliet M appear through some plants in costume, looking very chic, with a dino head costume. Nessie refers to her as a jellycat in couture. She looks quite cute, but I love her support for Nessie. So at the London Book Fair, Nessie and Juliet M, they can't help but to discuss what happened at Amanda's party and the public humiliation which Panthea bestowed upon Juliet M. And to my surprise, Juliet M reveals that the feud has been going on for 6 years. 6 years, Come on, Panthea, man. It's time to hang it up, Flaxstream. Come on. 6 years. So ahead of Karen holding a dinner party at Isabel's, Nessie agrees with Juliet M that she will try and speak to Panthea ahead of the dinner party to try and get some resolve, to bring this feud to an end. And to be honest, even I'm getting like, yeah, it needs to be wrapped up now. Yeah, it's boring. When Nessie does meet with Panthea agrees to disagree. Okay, so Panthea too wants to draw the feud to an end, but she agrees to disagree and says, even though I'm in the right. She's just so stubborn, but that's Panthea for you. So the dinner party gets on the way. All the ladies are looking glam. There's a part where Panthea is speaking to the producers and speculating of how Juliet M might appear. And she's like, quotes, I bet she's overdressed. I wonder if what she's wearing will be borrowed. Just constant shade. So everyone's talking about their husbands. You hear Nessie saying that she's been married for 19 years, and she explains how she met her husband. Nessie's a dark horse, that one. She's a dark horse, trust me. So everyone's talking about husbands. Karen asks Amanda, are you dating? Are you seeing anyone? That type of question. And then Panthea, being Panthea, she really just cannot help herself. She says words to the effect of, because you've been divorced twice, you know what you don't want. It's like if anything Panthea says is like shade. She just comes across as just so mean. So everyone's at the dinner party and Panthea is just constantly shading people, putting their mouth in it. It's the Iranian New Year. Everyone's saying that, this feud between Panthea and Juliet M needs to be wrapped up. Panthea agrees to disagree. But, she gives an apology, which is a half-hearted apology. She agrees to disagree. She gives an apology. It's half-hearted. And Juliet M picks up on it. And they clash again. And, they clash again. But eventually, they do. But eventually, they do draw the feud to a close, and they both agree that they will not be the best of friends. But it was just getting too much. It was like any more of this, and I'm just going to switch off. So I'm glad that's all being resolved now. And Panthea is saying that it's because it's Iranian New Year. Everyone needs to start afresh. Episode 2 wasn't just a filler, it set the stage for bigger fireworks to come. And judging by the preview for episode 3, it looks like things are about to get really messy. I'll be back breaking it down, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Also, tell me, who do you think will enter into the biggest feud of the season? I've got my guesses. I'd like to hear yours.